to the Just Innovate podcast. It's been a long time coming. I know, yes, we went on a mini hiatus, but now we're back, we're better, we're focused, and basically we're ready to go. My name is Avalanche, and of course, riding shotgun with me, I've got Mirabelle. And I've got this gentleman here. Can you tell us who you are?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Emmanuel Engels. In the robotics and coding department, and what I do here, I build softwares for that interface with our IoT devices that we build in-house here in Innov8 Hub.
Awesome. All right, so to set the ball rolling, this is a special edition where we are going to talk about the activities for the past year, 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to ensure that was correct. Okay, so basically we just want to analyze and, just basically take a step back, smell the roses, probably sip a cup of coffee, just analyze 2022. So I'll ask you individually, first of all, you, Mr. Engels, what was 2022 for you like?
Well, in summary, awesome, stressful, annoying at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, that was short. Like, you make it sound like 2022 was just like maybe 2 days. Just within 2 days.
Well, a lot of things happened. Personally speaking, I think I actually did a lot of stuff, like in terms of like roots, learning new stuff, and coming to innovate. There are a lot of projects that happened last year.
Yes.
So, like I said, awesome, annoying, and helpful.
All right. How about you? I know
Wait.
you're itching. You want to. Okay, go ahead.
Well, off the top of my head, we had like some programs that really happened last year.
Sure.
We had IFAIR. IFAIR started 2021 December and entered into 2022. I think that finished or ended June 4th. Can't really remember the day, but then we had we did some robotics and coding for kids. That was like a whole boot camp. We had the R4I. I know we had like 3 batches.
Yeah, research for impact.
Yeah, research for impact. And then we capped it off with like TEFE.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the latest, and it's still going on.
Yeah, it's still going on.
The opening
It's
event
good.
as well as boot camp.
They say it's a 1-year program. Yeah, it's a 1-year program.
They say. How does that sound to you? Okay. You're speaking basically about the activities of Innov8 Hub.
Yeah.
I asked you, like, from an individual's point of view, like, what was 2022 like for you?
2022 was a lot. It was a lot. Ranging from the activities, of course, there were like little or no breaks in between. So like once you like come out of this headspace, you're jumping into the next one you get. It's like we finished IFAIR, dealing with a bunch of inventors, dealing with a lot of projects, and then in like less than a month, we're into like research for impact. And by the way, the IFAIR event was going on while we we're having the robotics and coding boot camp. So it was like after like maybe say 2 weeks, we jumped into the research for impact, the first batch. So it's like you finish dealing with this range of products, you're now like having to do research for another range of products, and it was just a lot. We should start doing, or rather, the world should start creating like midterm breaks for adults. I think that's just my opinion.
Okay. All right. So basically, we're moving on, but we'll just take a short break where we'll go to the How We Do It segment of the Just Innovate, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Adibumi Lasisi. I'm a women instructor at Innov8 Hub. A recycler. I recycle waste through weaving. What we do is we gather the pure water waste, we wash them, we dry them, and we cut them into long strands, just like this. And afterward, we weaved. So this is the process of weaving. The instrument here is called a loom. And then we have the WAP. This is the WAP. The WAP is 10%, and the weft, which is the nylon waste, is 90%. And when combined together, we make beautiful products from it. So this is the bag made from the pure water nylon. You can see how colorful it is. The color is as a result of the WAP. That's the thread. So that's what brings out the color.
Welcome back to Just Innovate. So we were talking about like our experiences in 2022, and definitely going to ask you girls, what was your experience like?
It was fine. It was awesome actually, and also stressful. Like you said, it's a lot of events and activities happened last year. So and there were no breaks in between. So yeah, stressful. But at the same time, it was also an opportunity to learn, to build new stuff, and to grow.
Well, I thought they say like coders like this kind of stuff, like being like I don't know,
Job after job after job.
job after job after job.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Okay, what about you?
Well, when 2022 was awesome for me in many ways. Speaking from my personal point of view, I achieved a couple of milestones, and I'm grateful for the fact that I'm alive to share these with everybody. So basically, speaking from an innovator's point, basically I just learned how to communicate better, innovatively, how to relate with people, how to do more PR, more communication both internally and externally. And yeah, it was awesome. Like I don't want to go into a lot of things, but I know I achieved a lot last year. So Mr. Engels, just going back to you, I know you are privy to being involved with a couple of projects here at Innov8 Hub last year. So can you just tell us about these projects first of all?
Okay, so starting from the iFair event that happened last year, I was opportuned to be part of the. So there was this participant, Gideon from Port Harcourt. So he put forward this an air quality monitoring system. So it was basically IoT based, but there was also a software aspect. So collecting data, recording the data so that they can be used in the future for researchers or analysts can analyze the data. The data was like digitized, so you can get it from anywhere. So. And also, Onyedika, still talking on the iFair, one of the participants, Onyedika, he made a water monitoring system. So something that it monitors, it's an IoT device that monitors the level of water, and then the data is sent and stored somewhere, basically in the cloud, and it's displayed due to software that displays it. Like you can see the level of water from basically wherever you are. And then
what does that help to do? Just in case we've got subscribers to the podcast who need to understand how this works.
Okay, first and foremost, it's important to note that these were just simple prototypes, right? So they were given the amount of time that we had, the amount of resources per se. It was a project that was had to be squeezed into the limited amount of days we had. But just as you asked, right? The significance was for when you're dealing with an IoT system, right? You have to data is stored on site. So you can have a device that has a screen, right, and displays some metrics, some values or something. But then the problem comes in when you want to view that data from anywhere you are. So that's where the software comes in. I mean, you can achieve more than that with the software, but basically, the software can come into that kind of scenario and solve the issue of being able to view various parameters about certain data, changes in certain data from anywhere you are. So, yeah. Okay. Then moving forward, we had, just like you said, we had a robotics and coding bootcamp for kids. I was involved in mentoring the kids on version control. So in the software community, version control is a very, very important topic because it's not just version control and repository hosting. Basically, that's the technical thing. So for version control, we're looking at technicals like Git. Git is a VCS. That's basically what it's referred to. It's a version control system, a version control software. Anyone would like to call it. And then I mentored them on the basics of Git, and we also talked about GitHub. So GitHub is a repository hosting site where that promotes collaboration. So you can be here and I can be working on a project with someone in another country. So we were in touch with the team from Israel that had just participated in one of the competitions. So the aim of the robotics club for the kids, the robotics bootcamp rather for kids, was to encourage them to participate in an international competition that holds every year. The team in Israel, we were constantly in communication with them. They put us through a lot of what they did, how they made their own robots, how the competition went. We had a lot of meetings, and they even mentored us on how to build these robots, like step-by-step process.
Sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
He's being modest. Like, do you know what it means to teach children?
Yeah, you
Do
get
you know what it
that.
means to teach children? Like,
It
you're
requires a lot
being
of
really
patience,
modest.
you know.
Just talking small. I mean, like, I was also in this hub when they came. They were noisy. Very noisy.
Naturally.
And you would see him running around. Oh, you need to log in. Stop watching YouTube. Like, I mean, you're being really modest. Just talking about technical parts. It was stressful.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, well, you're actually correct. The kids were kind
She's
of
actually
annoying.
correct. Why didn't you say that part?
No, well,
Were you trying
that was
to defend the kids?
No, I was not. That was like, basically, I was more focused on the technical part. So,
Okay.
yeah. But those things actually happen. But then, at the end of the day, you realize that these are kids that you're dealing with, and these things are about to happen. So you just accept it.
I mean, and for me, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's the end goal that matters. Like,
Exactly. So,
what were they able to achieve? Like, what do you think? What were they able to achieve? And by the way, I'm sorry to cut you short. Mirabel, did you play any parts in?
I ran away.
Oh, nice.
I ran away.
Nice.
Although I was meant to be part
I'm
of.
an escapist in the
No.
building.
Although I was meant to be part of like the people teaching painting, but I mean, there was this kid that wanted to be part of everything. I kid you not, he wanted to be part of fashion design, he wanted to be part of painting, he wanted to be part of robotics, and I couldn't.
And it's meant to be a robotics and coding thing, right?
Yeah, but you know how kids are not every child wants this particular thing. And you can't force them. You get, so you try to bring other things that, in case this child comes, you can't say from the gate, if your child is not interested in robotics and coding, that's it, turn back. No, but what we do in the hub, we try to encourage other things apart from robotics. So when they come in, of course, they like ask them, do you want to learn robotics and coding? Of course. They were like, some were like, no, it's boring. While some were like, they were intrigued and they wanted to learn it. All the others, we had to like find other departments that were well suited for them. That's why I said there was like this 6-year-old child he wanted to be part of everything, and of course that won't be. For it won't be, what's the word? It won't be
Ideal.
ideal. Yeah, it won't be ideal. So they had to keep him what makes him happy. At some point, he was in, I think, communications. He was drawing a human being and a farm. And so they took him to painting. Then he was painting. Then he started crying that he wanted to go to robotics and coding. So it was a lot, you get. So
In terms of the child management as well as the technical part.
like the people in charge of this whole program, I give them kudos. They tried. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, we can tell because we spent a lot of time on robotics and coding. Okay, so moving forward, or rather, let's just backtrack a little bit to iFair, the second edition of iFair. What role did you play, Mirabel?
As you already know, I'm a product designer.
As I already know. Who
As
told
you
you?
know, you them.
Okay,
As
go
they
on.
already know, I'm a product designer, and that is one of the that is a department that majorly all products need to pass through before they reach development fabrication stage. So having I can't remember how many inventions were created, but I think over 20 or so or more. And each of them had to go through the product design department in terms of design, in terms of reiteration, and in terms of visualization. So they had to pass the department. So you could imagine, like, currently we are 4 in that department, but we used to be 3 then. And it would be me, okay, and Kene and architect. An architect was away then, so it was really just me and Kene. And then we would have to divide the work. You understand? And because of the time constraint, it was a hassle. It was thrilling, but it was a hassle. You get so basically that was my role. That was my role.
Amazing. It sounds like a whole lot. And I'm really grateful I wasn't here to be stressed out. Okay, so let's, we've talked about iFair, we've talked about robotic and coding for kids. Let's go to the Research for Impact workshops. Yes, I use the term workshops because we had 3 of them.
Yeah. Let's start with batch 1. If my memory serves me right, I know we did. They had 4 teams. Education team, poverty reduction,
Team
end hunger, and one other team. I can't really remember, but I know team quality education. They were to design they designed a platform, an e-learning platform for teachers.
Yes,
to be able
learning management system.
Yeah, to be able to equip themselves. So that when they're transferring knowledge to the younger ones, they'll be able to do it adequately. And then we had Team End Hunger. They came up with, I think, a bean harvester.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so I think theirs was the most tax-skin because, of course, we can't start planting beans to testing the shit, but
yes.
We had to use the little resources we had, and of course, people had already designed products like inventions for this particular problem. So we did a little iteration, and then learned the mechanism behind it, and then that was a success. Then we had, I think the one with the vaccine box.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
That was infrastructure, was it?
I can't remember.
Like a cooling system.
Yeah, a cooling system for vaccines. Yeah, to help with the viability of vaccines in Nigeria. They were creating something that would be in-house, like in Nigeria, so that we could stop importing like vaccine boxes from China also, or the US. I'm not so sure. Then we had this too much enjoyment is blocking my head.
Yeah, so basically, in case you don't know what the Research for Impact workshop is, the Research for Impact workshop is a program, an initiative of TED Fund in collaboration with Innov8 Hub, where members of the academia, specifically from polytechnics, came here to Innov8 Hub, with the goal to turn their ideas into solutions and prototypes. Basically, that's in summary of it. So I'm going to you now, Mr. Engels. Tell us about, first of all, your role in R4I.
Okay, so I think it was the second or the third team. They worked on it was based on SDG 4, quality education. So Closer was the name of the project. So the idea behind Closer was to evaluate the mental health of parents, for parents to be able to evaluate the mental health of their children through an app. So the app consists of, there are a series of questions there. So the kids, the app is built in a gamified way. So the kids just answer the questions, it's like fun for them. And then there's a rating system that rates their mental health, like how, based on the responses generated, like the responses on the questions that the kid answered. And then the parent gets to see these and know, okay, my child is fine, or my child is running crazy, something like that.
Okay, and speaking about Closer, I think Closer has to do something about substance abuse.
Yeah.
Just prevention, or at least to know where if your child is maybe having some traces of substance abuse. Sorry, I'm not so informed on this, so I just need to explain that part.
Like I said, mental, their health, the overall health of the child, the mental health of the, substance abuse affects your mental capacity.
Definitely.
At the end of the day. Yeah. So basically, that is also a factor too. So yeah.
I think the app had. I also worked on the app.
Yeah.
So I think there is a section where you can consult with professionals.
Yes, that's true.
So where he's coming from is basically the substance abuse part is, okay, your child has this, your results are out. A professional should be able to tell you, you should check whether your child is abusing drugs, because this is it's one of the factors that can affect a child's mental health. So that's why it was a goal,
from the sustainable development goals. I think that's amazing, because if you consider the fact that a lot of Nigerian youths today, they abuse drugs, and alcohol also adds up to substance, and it's a very critical thing, because if we call the youths the future of tomorrow, and majority of these guys are involved in substance abuse. I mean, what does the future hold, basically? So I mean, it's a very, very important thing to address, and we're glad that something of that note, an innovation, was created or designed to address this. So moving on, speaking about what other in terms of R4I now, what other projects were involved, or was that just it?
Yeah, I was majorly involved in Closer, but also the guys that pitched the accessibility app, the Vibrotactile Code application.
That was
so I was more of like a background person in the project, but I was also involved in that. So yeah.
That's the Vibrotactile telemetry.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was amazing, because I think it has to do with kids who are visually impaired.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of hearing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
not just kids though.
Yeah, sorry, but it was tailored towards pupils, students.
Yeah, to be able to help their learning curves.
I think that was
accessibility.
Education, was it?
Yeah, still teen education. I think the first batch.
Okay, no.
Second batch.
Yes, the second batch. Yes, that's correct. So speaking to you, Engels, what was the biggest challenge, working on R4I?
Okay, well, the biggest challenge was trying to build something within the limited time we had. So we had a very short time, and we had to ideate, we had to plan, we had to implement, we also had to test within this short time we had. So working with the participants, trying to develop something that is feasible was quite a challenge, but it actually happened at the end of the day, and they were able to work out with a viable product. So
Wonderful. And I think when it comes to time, Mirabel has something to say. She has something to say about that.
I stick with what I said. Adults should be given holidays. We need meet and break.
Don't you have leave or something?
Don't leave.
Yeah.
If I could use it, it would be a privilege. Before you even fill up a form, there's another program. And you have to have conscience.
Yes.
Because if you leave during the program, nobody
Who's going
else
to fill up
who's
for
going to
you?
help. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you have to work with conscience. So, but still, stand by meet and break for adults. Should be, because,
You should carry a placard or something.
yeah, if people join me, I would.
I mean, I can, but I'll be like miles away. But I mean, supporting in spirit, that counts, right?
Look at it.
Okay, so speaking to you, Engels, now, we talked about the challenge. Okay, so we've had like multiple prototypes, talking about R4I, talking about IFE as well. Which of these innovations for you, from IFE first of all, then to R4I, which of these innovations stood out for you?
okay, I think the R4I, there was this particular invention in the R4I event that stood out for me. So it was there was this team that worked on team infrastructure.
Yes.
Exactly. So they worked on a flood warning system. So it stood out for me because looking at what happened last year in the country, Nigeria, the flooding
Yes,
from the
yes.
Cameroon Dam, the Nagoda Dam,
Yes.
that displaced a lot of people in the
North Central.
North Central, yeah, Kodigi, Benue. So if we have something like that, I mean, it's like you can anticipate something like this, like long before it actually happens. So prevention prevents disaster, basically. So
That was a nice one. I think last year everybody knows how floods affected, just like you said, Nigeria. So how about you, Mirabel? Which of the innovations stood out for you?
Without being biased. I mean,
Why should you be biased in the first place?
because what I'm about to say is the one I worked on. But it's because of the benefits that it has.
Okay.
What he said, the one he mentioned is actually a great one. I'm pro education. I believe knowledge will change the world. It was the e-learning platform. What's the name? I can't remember.
Learning management
The
system.
learning management system. I think I'm pro. Teach your children the right thing. Do you understand? I believe that in the northern, like what is happening now in the country, the northern region of Nigeria is the educational system there is a bit behind. You understand? And now we're actively looking for solutions to make it to bring up the pace. Like we want a time where everything is balanced. Any child from anywhere can come up for competitions and still will win a fantastic award. We shouldn't be looking at a situation where majorities from the west, majorities from the east, and very little from the north. So I think that project, for me, it was
Stood
top
out.
notch. Despite the fact that I worked on it, yes.
Just tell us that that's the reason why you. Anyway, moving on. Personally, I think I'm a man of the environment. So if I'm to choose, it's not like I'm trying to make a case for any of the prototypes, but I love the bio-bouquet making machine because like it's a healthy way, because like there's a lot that has to do with the pollution that comes with fossil fuels, burning of charcoals, firewood, things of that nature. So like to create something that can be that healthy to the environment, and when you consider global warming and things that are environment related, that was fantastic. And while I was not closely involved, I think I saw the whole process, and I appreciate the fact that they came up with something of that nature.
He's really an
Amazing.
environment guy. He likes hugging trees.
Oh, you know that, right? Oh, amazing. All right, so that's for R4I. Let's just backtrack a little bit to IFE2 prototypes, or was there any of the products that stood out for you? Starting with your Maribel.
Wow.
Or you're trying to remember the products?
Because there's so many
There were
products.
lots,
Let
yeah.
me see. That stood out. Well, when you say stood out, so your own opinion, stood out could be different things, and in my own opinion,
actually.
stood out could be, wow, this is funny. Okay, there's this. He called it a miracle water. Healing water. I can't remember. Miracle water.
Oh, that sounds very spiritual, as opposed to technological.
It was like when I heard the name, I was like, what? But it actually is not what you think it is. Miracle water, basically the way he kept calling it miracle water, but we actually designed a compost milk. It is a container that you pour in waste, and the water seeps out from it, and then the water is used to fertilize the soil.
Okay, I think I read about that.
Yeah. So that is why I stood out for me, because of the whole miracle water thing, and that's the one that's like most prominent in my head, because I mean.
Well, the thing is, like, when you hear about miracle water, I don't know, it just gives you the idea of maybe turning water into wine or something.
That's what I said. That's why I said it stood out for me.
Yeah. Of which there's a critical point that just came to my mind now. Speaking about that, that's the reason why. Yes, innovators, they are smart, they are sharp, brilliant upstairs and all that. But, when it comes to branding, and branding is a holistic approach, in terms of even giving names to your prototypes. It's very important that you can come up with something sellable. So, like, it's not like I'm trying to criticize the name Miracle Water, but when somebody hears that name, how sellable is it? It's very important.
It would surprise you that it will catch the attention of people. I kid you not. I mean, imagine you're walking on the road, and you know how Nigerians can be super religious. You can just be walking on the road and be shouting, "Oh, miracle water for sale," and you will gather people.
You look like one customer already.
I will not go. I just be by the side. I mean, like, what's going on? But like, yeah.
Awesome. How about you? Same thing. The projects.
The guys that worked on the pilot, basically, that was the name of the project.
Okay,
that's
the air
air
quality.
Yeah. I actually worked on the software.
Oh, I can see everybody's trying to take sides with the projects they've worked on, as opposed to.
I didn't work on compost mill. I didn't work on compost mill.
Oh, right.
But it was just funny to me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't work on the team infrastructure project.
So everybody's denying now. Let us go on record.
You're just trying
Let's
to
go on record. Yeah, I know. I'm just cracking.
Okay, so the idea behind solving, one thing I love is when you look at your immediate environment, you try to figure out, you see the problem, the issue with your environment, and you try to solve that problem. It's something that I really love, like when people do stuff like that. I love seeing things like that, like solving the immediate challenges in your current environment. And for the pilot project was one of such projects. So it was this guy is Gideon specifically. He's from Port Harcourt. There is this major issue of air pollution in PH that causes respiratory issues for most people in Port Harcourt.
I used to stay in PH. It's called Black Suit.
Oh, Black Suit. Oh,
Black Suit. That's quite interesting.
I never stayed in Port Harcourt, I did some research and I figured out that it's a major challenge in PH.
Yeah.
Port Harcourt. Yeah.
Well, currently it has reduced, but yeah, as at 2020, 2021, 2022, yeah, 2027 to 2022, it was a huge mess.
Wow.
Because you could not clean your house and like it will be clean.
Oh, right.
You will clean and like in 5 minutes you see black
that.
soot everywhere. Worst part, I think when I traveled back to see my parents, I was sleeping. I woke up, overnight sleep. You wake up. I woke up and cleaning your nose, you see black soot. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
That's how. Well, currently it has reduced because I traveled back and I could say like drastically it has reduced. Definitely the government is paying attention to it, but yeah, it has drastically.
And so, do we have to thank Gideon for that? Or his innovation?
I
Basically,
don't
yeah.
know. But yeah, he's part of the contributors.
Nice,
So
nice. All right, so moving forward, let's talk about the viability of these products. How viable? I know you mentioned, first of all, you mentioned from the R4I. Can you remind me the project that stood out for you?
The team infrastructure.
Yes, team infrastructure, the flood warning system. Yes, it's a sellable idea, but how viable is it? It's one thing to be sellable, but it's another thing for it to be presentable to a potential investor. So, how viable is this product?
Personally, I think it is like the idea behind the project alone. It's something that is necessary, like it's important. Like when you're looking at viability, you're also looking at importance and problem solving capability of the product. Like, does it actually deliver on what it says it does, or does it just not deliver? So, I think it's a really viable product. And with the right investors and investment, I believe these innovations can be put out into the public and in use generally.
Okay, how about you? You talked about the learning management system.
Yeah.
How viable?
oh, the viability is through the roof.
Wow.
Viability is through the roof.
Are you sure you don't have like an investment in this? Because you've hyped and hyped and hyped and
I mean, like, if I did,
you'll be proud of it,
I'll
right?
be proud, like, because it is for me. I don't know, passion about education. I mean, I value education a lot, even though I don't say it all the time. I know even when I was young, I would say when I'm in school, but I value it a lot because it has its perks. Like, without knowledge, I mean, we'll probably be a bottomless pit by now. But yeah, that's for me. I believe the viability is off the charts.
Okay, so I know like we've almost exhausted the time on the podcast, but just one more question. Now starting with you, Mr. Engels, what does 2023 hold? First of all for you, then secondly for Innov8 Hub, in your opinion?
Okay, I'll start from Innov8 Hub. So I think we're going to see a lot of activities here in Innov8 Hub. First and foremost, the continuation of the Debt Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Debt Fair, yeah. So that is going to run throughout the year. Yeah. So and also lots more projects, like things you're going to see, events running side by side. There's going to be a lot of people are going to be stressed. Yeah. So
Okay, how about you, Mirabel?
We're gonna be stressed. Well, I'll say Innov8 Hub is not the first. It's like it's not the first startup or rather innovation hub in the world, but definitely it's one of a kind. And I believe that our subscribers should pay attention because this year is going to blow up. It's going to blow because just starting this year, like the year has not. We're still in January and things are already happening. I can see things happening, and you can only if you have foresight, you can only see what is to come. And I know, like by December, we're going places. We're going places.
I think so as well. So, yes, it's been an amazing podcast. I think we've shared some insight to the activities for the year as well as reviewing the past year, and it's been amazing. Would like to say a very big thank you to our subscriber for tuning in and subscribing. Remember to follow us on our social media channels and handles, and remember to press the like button as well as the subscribe button on our social media platforms that will be appearing on the screen right now. But from me, Avalanche, yours truly, and
from Engels, thanks for joining us.
I hope to see you soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
Hope to see you soon.
Why did that sound so flat? Like, I don't get.
Fine. You have to return. I mean, they have to return, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, you have to convince them to
return for the
return,
next episode. Like,
definitely. Trust me, the next episode we're going to address something very, very critical. So just stay tuned. Thank you so much and take care.